Okay. Hi, hello, my name is Julia and I could be your erotic photographer. Okay, in this video we will speak about standards. Okay, standards in a studio, in a photography standards. Okay, and how those standards are changing now. Okay, because we're going into erotica and people require more nudity, more sexual experiences, more sexual adventures, more sexual approach. Okay, they want to try risky things, they want to experiment in the studios, they want to how to say, they want to experiment with the photographer. If it's like going to the kitchen, you have all those products and then you will decide what you want to cook. Okay, it's not going to take away that you have 1 2 3 options, okay, to get there. No, I am I have to say, I am thinking about my photo shoot as an event, because there is a lot of preparations and there is a lot of new things going on in the studio. Okay, and at the same time I am breaking the standards. Okay, so how is my studio different? Okay, and what is in general standards? In general, in a photography, people started from portraits. Okay, they start creating photography from portraits and then slowly moved into the sensual mode, into boudoir, into nude. Okay, but they kept those standards for portrait photography. Okay, and what that means is that photographers are qualified to deliver a certain limited amount of services in terms of transporting it into the business. They using a limited amount of lighting variations, right? Everything usually when you go to the studio is preset. Okay, it's already someone just been there. Okay, the place is warm. Okay, and they just shooting the same material with every client who is arriving. Okay, you're not getting anything new, seriously, there. Okay, it's all the same, it's a conveyor experience. Okay, and so when you get into the studio, what you can create is, you can change your outfits, you can try new posing maybe, right? But the photographer is not qualified to lead you through the erotic nude making love session. Okay, what they will do is they will just watch what you are capable of doing, or what you are doing, and just take a picture of that. Okay, they would not interfere, they will not create you a scenario, they will not make you a plan, they will not try you to take out you out of the comfort zone. Usually there is not much even going on in a consultation. Okay, you have a very limited service, you have a very limited amount of images, and you have very limited takes, okay, to create that. Because it's a conveyor, there is a limited time, there is everything already for the business preset. So the same settings go to everyone, and those same settings go into editing post-production process, right? So that you can edit bulk images, right? And everyone who will arrive to that studio will get the same images. Okay, the same images. And when you go to photographer's website, you would see that the faces are changing, but the images are the same. And this is absolutely appropriate to the studio. Studio doesn't want to change anything, studio doesn't want to put themselves into an awkward position. What that means, into an awkward position? When you start experimenting with the lights, okay, there is a very big error margin. Okay, so and when you're moving from one lighting option, and when you encourage your client to do something in the studio, of course he will step out of the light, he doesn't know what's happening and so on. So you will have more how to say, unsuccessful shots. And what that means is that when you arrive to the studio, you will create a certain posing which already photographer knows that it suits to everyone. Okay, so this setting will be set up for you, and this posing will be suggested and advised for you to follow. Okay, and that's why you will get all how to say, all the same images. It is very good to, as a startup, to try, to do portrait photography, business portrait photography, family photography, okay, like with babies and so on. That is perfect. Okay, but when it comes to erotica, when it comes to making love scenarios, when it comes to couple photo shoot, when it comes to photo shoot with hot and sexy models, I don't think these standards can apply. Okay, and that's where I experimented more than 10 years, and I am talking about erotic photography. Okay, because erotic photography is not available in university to learn. Okay, what you go is you go to what you can choose. You can choose portrait, fashion, products, business, whatever photography you would choose. But there is no course or a teacher who would say, "Oh, I am an erotic photographer." Okay, the reason why it is because this directory is suspended. Okay, first of all. What that means is you can't show, before you can't show the artwork. Okay, you can't promote it or put it in the marketing as an erotic photographer. So in general, this business, adult business, is huge. Okay, big. But all the platforms, because they're protecting children, society, community, they would not allow you, okay, to come in with the erotica, and that's why they're trying to suppress it and close it as much as possible, right? But there are some people dedicated and they're gonna do it anyway. Okay, and now erotica is huge. 10 years ago I was not even able to talk about it. Okay, I remember I started speaking maybe 2 years ago about erotic photography, and I remember when I started talking on Instagram and making a video, after a few minutes my video becomes silent. Okay, so how to say, because I'm using like sexy or threesome or whatever words which are not allowed in the verbal communication, they were silencing me. Okay, now as you can see, I am already able I am already able to translate this information. No one is blocking me, but they still marked my accounts as how to say, as read, and I am under very how to say, strict supervision. Okay, so showing my artwork to the content that I go to is not possible, but I can talk about it, right? So let me just go back to the standards. There are certain standards in photography, okay, but they do not apply to erotic photography, okay, because people don't want to do the same thing when they come to create, when they come to express their love, their emotions, their feelings, when they come to experiment with new things in the studio. Not necessarily they would want to do the same thing, and I always try to push them. Okay, there is a lot of stuff in the studio, okay, for fetish, for BDCM, for glamour, for boudoir, for, how to say, role play, right? Changing into some kind of a fantasy heroes or whatever you have in mind, right? So there are a lot of things to do in the studio when you come to erotic studio, and of course a lot of games you can play, right? Talking about standards and photographers who provide this service, not everyone can handle to go all the way, okay, and lead the couple, lead the adults, encourage them, or even stop during the photo shoot, during the making love scene, like saying, "Oh, no, no, I don't like the way I see it in the camera. Can we just..." So how to say, usually the photographers are taking a distance. Okay, no one is climbing on you and no one is, up close doing something and so on. When I started doing videos, which were a few years back, I bought a gimbal. Okay, I bought a gimbal because every event, when people, how to say, want to have a nice footage, they will hire a videographer, and videographer, of course, have a professional equipment. Okay, and the gimbal is that big. Okay, huge. Plus, it's 2 kilos, weighting the metal, weighting 2 kilos. Plus, you putting the camera and the lenses on top, and then the whole equipment is nearly 5 kilos to hold for you. Okay, and I was trying to do erotic photography and making last scenes for a couples on that gimbal. And when you have the whole this equipment, it's very hard to go, between your legs or do something and so on. So I have realized that even the equipment which is available for videography, it's not adjusted to specifically how to say, create erotic photography. And when we watch porn, okay, you could see that there are certain standard takes, okay, that videos are more or less all the same, okay, when you're shooting, because they're using an old knowledge how to control the camera, and to avoid the camera shake, of course you would need to have a gimbal to have a smooth, footage, right? So like I say, erotic photography, it's kind of everywhere, okay? Every business is using sexuality, is using those sexy vibes, because that's what sells, right? But in the same time, it's very premature, if I can allow myself to say that, right? In one way it's premature for public, but it's very developed when you go into the agencies, to the porn, industries and so on. So there is a very big gap, okay, there. Right, let me just go into the standard studios when they create a conveyor experience, right? So when you have this conveyor experience, it's actually limiting you in a creative mode, right? Because there is a time sets, right? There are shots that that they would make, and you walk into the studio, you go through that conveyor experience, and then you would leave again, and then another person will go in. And so it is very how to say, it is simple to follow, but in terms of the creativity, and in terms of uniqueness, and in terms of the personal approach, it's fairly, I don't think it is possible to create such a energetic and such a how to say, these things take time, okay? You just can't do this conveyor all the time. And when we see the conveyor experience, you even can see in the porn, it's not any more interesting to watch that, okay? Because it's being produced as a conveyor experience. So that's how I define myself, that I am want to move away from this. And when every couple or individual who would like to shoot with the model, for example, and try this couple experience in my studio, I would always approach personally. Okay, I will speak with the person. I would know what kind of the fantasies he would have in his head, what things he would like, okay, what things he would like to try and never tried, okay, what things are turning him on and maybe turning him off, okay. And so we will start from, how to say, a simple setup, right? Nothing is pre-made, and then I will test. And from test by test, we're going into, how to say, you see, into that vibe when the person is ready and your photographer is ready, and the photographer knows now how you look like, knows your body, knows how you move, knows your perfections and see your imperfections. And that time when I devote to my client to create that unique footage, right, it's actually necessary for photographer as well, okay, so that he would connect with the client, and that he would create the stuff that no one else have, and that is related just to that person, okay. So conveyor experience is how to say, it's a business take, okay. And very sorry to say to you, but everyone who develop any kind of business will come sooner or later to that setup, okay. And I am not an exception, but I would still try to, hi, hello, I would still try to avoid, making this generic footage and shooting everyone in the same way, okay. So my lighting is for every person is different. We find this lighting for that person, for his body, for his complex, for his skin texture, right? We experiment till we will find something new, okay. And of course we take those safe shots, which are a studio standard shots, so that the person would see the difference, what it means to create from the scratch and be free, okay. And when you think about that staged photo shoot, when people come and just make certain moves and certain poses, it's very limited. Okay, you can't express your sexuality and you can't express your personality in a sexual way if you're not experimenting. Okay, and so every shoot which I do, it's new to me, and that is the most exciting and amazing part. Okay, it is also very complicated, and photographers do not go there because it's very risky. Seriously, it's a lot of headache and it's a lot of stress. It is much easier to shoot on the same lighting like everyone. There is no headache, seriously, just to make the same dish. Okay, same fish and chips. Okay, that's what they came for, that's what they got. There is no mystery. Okay, there is no excitement in there, there is no disappointment in there. Okay, in my session you will have successful shots as well as unsuccessful. Okay, and so the difference in my studio is that there is no limitations. Okay, I encourage people to get out of this box. Okay, you could see that they are limited with their movement range, they limited with their verbal expressions. Okay, they limited and they trying to be quiet, when they making love, right, or something. And I say, no, I need that noise in the footage, I need it, it's gonna spice up, and so on and so on. So in general, photographers do not want to go there because they are not qualified. Okay, you need not only the experience, but you need to understand human's body and human psychology. Okay, to go there so that you will be able to direct. Okay, and to move that shoot towards the goal. Okay, not just making the same things. Okay, so like I say, my photo shoots, I strive to be unique and personal. That's why when I go to my website and when I look at my gallery, okay, which is nude and explicit, you would see that every picture is different. There is no same pictures. Okay, I do not have same settings set up. Okay, I don't. And that's the how to say, that's the biggest fun for me. That's why I am doing this, not because I want to see naked people and what they're doing in their intimate time. Okay, but I want to create a very unique and very special artwork. Okay, and I want to be professional on that. I don't want to make the same things like the other studios do. Okay, and that's my approach. Okay, so when you create photo shoot in the other studios, you 100% will have limited creativity. What that means is, okay, there will be a problem, okay, to change the lighting, to change the setup, to change the outfits, to change the props, to change the position, to change this. There will be a problem. Okay, and at my studio I encourage that. The more different, the more changes, the more you would understand yourself, you will see yourself from the different angles, from the different perspectives. You will bring a different mood and a different fun, right? But like I say, changes, and when you are in the stable position as a photographer, changes means trouble. Okay, the more you change with that person, the more you will be alert. Okay, because it's very hard to maintain a great quality. Okay, when you do a lot of changes, when you do this crazy shoot. But when we go and look at the whole file, when at the end of the shoot we have, you would see, okay, that it is interesting and exciting to see those movements from one position to other, from one setting to the other, from one outfit to the other, from, it's just fun. I don't want to bore here anyone, and I don't want to how to say, do the same thing with everyone. So creativity is my key. Okay, experimenting and trying new things is a must when you in a creative mode. This is the highest energy. Okay, this is the highest energy. If you can create in a sexual environment, in a sexual mode, and with someone who is out there watching you, okay, of course advising you, telling you what to do step by step. Okay, then you would feel, and you would, how to say, make different footage and different memories. Okay, when you come back to this, you would see yourself open up. Okay, not being limited and scared to touch there or do that, or sometimes couples say, oh, we had a photo shoot, and when we kissed, and when we do something, the photographer was like in shock, or didn't allow to do this, or didn't allow you see, sexual experiences are also must be unlimited. Okay, and every person have different kinks. Okay, different stimulation time, different needs. Okay, imagine if you're making the same portraits and every couple is doing the same positions. Okay, just shooting in the same positions because the photographer is shooting that stuff. Okay, he's not comfortable to shooting in in the other way, or that the couple will do something more, and so on, or scream, or something, right? So everything more staged and limited and compressed and framed. Okay, and that is something what I'm trying to avoid in my shoot. Okay, how you can create an ecstasy. Okay, how you can create those kind of feelings without letting go. Okay, without being afraid, or without how to say, judgment or something. You when you doing a test shoot with me, right, I already let people know, okay, that I want to see everything what their body can produce. Okay, in terms of emotion, in terms of expression, in terms of posing, in terms of, like I say, audio, okay, sound, and whatever. They have to do it in the real way. Okay, and yesterday I spoke with one couple on the video call about the photo shoot, and they were telling how amazing their pictures were. They had a shoot, and I said, you know what, my pictures is not going to be all amazing. If you are seriously turned on and you are coming, you're not going to smile there and look at the camera, right? And the faces what you create, they're not going to be all sweet and nice. Okay, people, when they making love, they do not see their faces. Okay, and I don't want them to be fixed on the very just beautiful and nice pictures, making love or real sex or hard sex or whatever they doing. It's not beautiful. It has to, it has a different vibration, different dimension. Okay, and it has to be real. Okay, and I remember I was shooting one couple, and they were making love, and it was early days. Okay, it was early days, and that's when I realized, okay, that erotic photography, real erotic photography, it's not pretty. Okay, and they were like seriously getting on there, and I was trying to take a beautiful picture of them making love, and her face all the time was, how to say, like she's in pain or something. Okay, and I'm taking these pictures, I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, they're not going to buy those pictures because, how to say, she's not smiling, she's not pretty there, her face all in, in kind of, she experiencing orgasm. She has all these crumbs and everything, and so on. And that's what I am capturing, right? And I stopped them there, and she was like, What's wrong?" And I said, are you okay?" I said, I don't see like you are enjoying, And she says, "What do you mean?" And I say, I am looking at your face. It's like, she's like, "This is my turn on face." Okay, and then I realized that this doesn't have to be, beautiful and pretty all the time. People have to create real experiences, appreciate themselves, okay, that they are doing this, and let themselves go. Okay, and I am here to show them how they look like when they're experiencing this for real. Okay, because it has to be wild, it has to be crazy, it has to be how to say, un you know what is this word in English? Okay, when there is no censor there, it's uncensored. It has to be like that. that is the real, okay, physical, emotional, okay, and expression. And if someone makes you feel like that, and you can see that these things are going on inside you, it doesn't have to be all the time, just like, oh, beautiful pictures, bees and flowers. No, no, it can be not really pretty, okay, especially when you're doing close up, okay, and they doing hardcore scene or something, right? Not everything will be the way people imagine, okay. People imagine things, but every person during that sexual experience changing, their face is changing, okay. So when people, for example, couple come in here and doing it for show, okay, it's very visible, okay. Yes, we get used to this type of expressions. We get used to see this in the movies, how pretty and nice, and how this, but the real sex, it's not pretty, okay, if you're doing it for real, okay. If you're doing it for real, and you're doing it, from from your, full on, it's not, okay. So that's why I am here, that people will feel safe and secure to actually perform this without limitations, okay, without being, awkward, judged, or other negative emotion, okay. So unlimited shoot, unlimited creativity, really open-minded approach, okay, really open-minded. So when it comes to shooting making love scenes, not many photographers have enough experience. First of all, they do not have enough experience in their sexual life. Then they do not have experience in adult business, okay, when they get exposed to those views and so on, right? And then they do not have experience, like I say, in medical or an anatomical field, right? Because not every person is the same, right? In terms of body, yes, we have same parts, but not everything looks so aesthetical, okay. Not everything looks perfect, right? And not everything looks pretty down there, okay. But it's pretty for them, right? It's pretty for them. And that's the whole how to say excitement for me, because different people create different content in a different way. It's amazing when people can relax, okay, when people can just take that moment, okay, and that can relive it, right, again, through those images or through those videos that they can be watching later, okay. Many years will pass, but they could just go back through those images in that moment when they were experiencing this crazy sex. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not pretend, not like cuddles, not like, oh, little bit. They would not feel in their heart, okay, that much of the emotion. It would not connect if it will be all staged. It has to be raw, okay? It has to be real. It has to be full on. And I am always unhappy if it's not, okay? And I never had a successful shoot. Okay, I always say my clients, I don't believe you. Okay, if this is what you've got, I don't believe you. I need to see something spicy here. Okay, can you do that? I always encourage them. Okay, I know there are stages when people are, like cabbages, open up their clothes and how to say undress, and then they, take off those layers of shyness, of this, how to say, all these blocks, all these limits, and it takes time, okay, to create a good, powerful, sexy shoot. It takes time, not for me, okay, but for them. And those layers are invisible. But during that shoot, you can see that the progress is going up, and the shoot is hotter and wilder, and how to say, if I am happy and I believe that this is like wow, right, this is wow, that then I let them go, okay. Okay, so limited fantasy. What that means, limited fantasy? It means that there are, how to say, there are fantasies which are normal for photographers, okay, and there are fantasies which are not, okay, and that's again down to photographers' personality, photographers' experience, and photographers' background. Okay, so some fantasies I would not be available with other people. You could not do this, okay? And especially when you go full on, like for example, all the sex possible, okay? So maybe you would do vaginal sex, okay, with other photographers, but you would not do other sex, okay, because it's not appropriate for that person, okay? And that's nothing you can do about it, okay? There is a limited fantasy option, okay, unless you go, like I say, to the porn studio, you can do whatever you want, but I can tell you, not in every studio you can do every fantasy and whatever you want, okay? That's what I know, okay? People are coming, couples, and shooting, and they telling me, and I know, okay, that how to say, that they are surprised what I can do and what I can take. And 2 days ago, one guy asked an ice pack for his balls. Okay, no, he asked for ice, and I said, I'll give you and ice is melting and it's gonna be very wet and so on. So I said, I'll give you an ice pack. And then we're shooting, and he's holding this ice pack, to make him harder and so on. And he was saying to me, oh, probably you have not seen this, such a thing before. And you know what, it was so funny, because I turned around and said, you know what, I lived life, okay? You have no idea what I have seen, okay? No, seriously, your ice pack, it's a joke, it's a joke, but it helps him, okay? So, like I say, there are many different variations and many different turn on with different people, okay? And not every other man would need, how to say, to get him harder an ice pack, right? But like I say, that's why I celebrate this openness, and that's why I want to make those unique shots, because everyone is different, okay? And I want to capture that, okay? I want to capture your strangeness, okay? I want to capture your, how to say, craziness, wildness. I don't want, I've seen those shots, I don't want to repeat them. Yes, I can take few pictures for beautiful, how to say, setups that you can show your parents or your children, or you just have it as a memory. But the rest, what we shoot in the studio, is not going to be, how to say, that pretty. Okay, I mean, it's going to be artistic, it's going to be sexy, it's going to be explicit. Okay, but I do not strive to make you look very pretty in all the pictures. You can't make good pictures. You can't let yourself go if you constantly are worried that you do not look perfect. Okay, and when you're making sex scenes, okay, there are angles, okay, and there are positions, okay, and it's not perfect, okay, and your body would not look that perfect, okay. And I want people to accept themselves, okay, and to love themselves, and only going through a raw and unstoppable or unlimited shoot, they can experience that, okay. So, like I say, there will be a limited creativity all the time, okay? Because other studios will use standards, okay? And I want to make a new standards, and I need your support. Seriously, I need your support. You, if you don't mind, you can like this video, and I can see how many people liked and who you are, and maybe I say hi to you, okay? So let me just move on. Okay, so limited fantasy, limited creativity, and limited image count. That's exactly what you will get in other studios. Okay, why you get a limited images? Because there is, how to say, there is a limited time in there, and if they shoot 15 frames, they know that they will get around 3 to 5 good shots. Okay, they don't shoot more. Okay, they are not interested to see what happened next, when the person will relax, when the person will touch himself there, what is the next image will bring, what is the next image will bring. They just shoot limited shots because they're selling 5, 10, or 15 images. They don't need to shoot 5 hours to create those 10 images. Okay, and that's why what you've get. Okay, if you come to shoot glamour, boudoir, or nude photography, you will get a limited shoot. Okay, limited by the standard, limited by the creativity, limited by the uniqueness. Okay, limited by the fantasy, and limited by the image selection. Okay, and not every photographer will give you the whole footage. Okay, and then you can choose which ones you like. Usually when you go to the studio, they will decide how many pictures you will get and what kind of pictures you will get. They don't want to show you the ones which are not successful in their mind. Okay, it just, again, it's another standard when photographers do not show the whole artwork. They just choose the best pictures for themselves. But you see, the best pictures not necessarily maintain that energy, sex energy. Okay, and not all the pictures what the photographer will choose will actually associate, okay, and make that memory even stronger. Okay, and that's it. Seriously, some stranger deciding for you which pictures are beautiful, and that's great. When you're doing it for portraits, they will lead you to the shots which are really how to say, match the standard, that you can then display them, show them, and share them. Okay, with erotic photography is different. Okay, with erotic photography is different, because you see, when you're shooting naked body and explicit intimate parts, okay, every picture counts. Okay, you can't decide. Okay, you can't decide, is it here hand, or is it here, or is it here, or is it down there better. Okay, the person who is looking at that image must decide for himself how he like. Is the husband holding here, is the husband holding here, is the husband holding here. He will decide which pictures are good. So for me, for example, it's bonkers. Okay, it is bonkers to apply this standards, because every shot that you will create is erotic. Okay, and is at the value and maintain the information. That is why I give all the files. Okay, and that means that when I create a photo shoot, we make 300, 500, 700, even 1,000, okay, pictures if they're shooting the whole day. And the same with the videos. Okay, and the problem with my file is, like I said, because I experiment a lot, you will get the good ones and the bad ones. Okay, seriously. And that's what I do. And people usually are shocked. Okay, people usually are shocked because they just get used to pretty post production, already edited perfect images. That's what majority get used to get. Okay, they would better get 5 edited pictures which are not real, staged. Yes, that's the person in there. Yes, the photography, how to say, techniques and lightings are there. Everything is nice, but it's not real. Okay, the real pictures, being removed. Okay, where you are not perfect. Okay, and I want everyone to appreciate their imperfections. That's how they come to self-love. Okay, if I would remove that, I would keep those people delusional. Okay, yes, I would keep them happier, maybe, and more, how to say, fond of themselves. Oh, I had a shoot and every shot I get was perfect. How real is that? How real is that? If you're doing something a first time ever, and you're experimenting, and you never done anything before, okay, you tell me how you can be perfect in every picture. Hmm? especially when you are undressed. It's a different when people are with their clothes on. Okay, with the clothes on, oh my God, I can do many things as well, right? It is different when you're taking your clothes off. Okay, so it can't be all perfect, especially when you move around, change position, change this. It can't be. Okay, so I introduce people to a real life, to the real body, to the real emotion, to the real experience, to the real moment. Okay, and I am moving away from this stage, and how to say, I don't think this is how to say, I think this is outdated already. Okay, and it will just go away, and there will be less and less people who will believe about very um how to say, very perfect images. Because you see, when you're getting older, and I'm shooting mature people, right? Yes, when you was younger, your body was, how to say, when you was younger, had no family, had no children, right? There are a lot of photographers who shoot just pretty girls, pretty people, models, right? And these are the perfect pictures. Okay, but when I do not shoot models, when I shoot regular people who never had been exposed to such an environment, who never had, lighting or flash in their face, okay, they're experiencing different sensations. Okay, and their body, of course, expressing those sensations in their camera. And if you get used to, and you had million shoots, like you can see the celebrities, right? Every picture is perfect. Or if you see the adult models, right? Adult models, the more they shoot, the better they get. Okay, the more they shoot, the better they get, right? And with adult models is, of course, there is this perfection factor, because that's what sells. Okay, that's what guy buy. Okay, they being perfect. But like I say, I've seen so many adult models in my life. Okay, and it was just few really perfect. Okay, and then the rest, it just creates an illusion. Okay, it just creates, that magic mystery mist. Okay, that everything is perfect, and that is fine. I love that. Okay, I love that. Let them do this. But for normal people, for regular people, let's just go back to the real life. Okay, I have this agenda as well, to make people look like models, but they still have to go through this experience. They have to have it inside them. And at the end of the shoot, they actually start shooting like models. And I am showing on my website, of course, not the images when they are starting out. Okay. I am showing on my website the images which are at the end of the shoot, which, yes, they look like hot models, but they had 2 hours of intense practicing. Okay. To become that. Okay, intense practicing. Of course, we can, like I say, the standards are like this. You go to the studio, everything is set up for you, you just play with posing, you do everything artificially. Okay, yes, if you have a couple, there will be a connection there straight away. Yeah, because they love each other, and they already there together, so it is much easier for me when you shoot a couple in a sexual environment, and it is a little bit more complicated when you shoot individual. Okay, because they need more time to open up, they need more time to for encouragement, and they need more time to create those really model looking shots. Okay, it just because they have to experience this and feel this. Okay, so that is important for me, that they are coming back from the studio with a understanding of the real work, what it takes to look like a model. Okay, and yes, I could show them the posing. Okay, usually there is 5 to 10 posing variations which photographer practice with the every outfit, and that's it. Okay, everything is staged, the girl looking nice, and the shoot is very fast. Okay, but like I say, coming back to the conveyor experience, okay, when you are not staging the person and trying for him to put him in that position when he is happy, trust you, okay, confident in what he's doing, understanding where he is at the moment and why he's doing this and what we are creating. And if I need to be more sexy, can you just do that for me now? Yeah, can it be more hotter? Yeah, I don't feel it. Yeah, and I'm pushing them step by step. Okay, you can't go and just drop into the sexual energy. Okay, our body create this vibration slowly by slowly, right? If someone touches you or you touching yourself, you can't just drop and jump into the orgasm. Okay, I mean, you can, right? Like you can, imagine you miss him so much and then you saw him after a long time and he just touched your shoulders or kissed you on the lip and you come, right? But I'm not talking about this type of experience. I'm talking about experience when you are exposed and it is much harder, okay, to push yourself and put yourself into that climax, into that ecstasy. But through that time, okay, when you go through the photo shoot in 1 or 2 hours, you are ready, you won it, okay? And that's when it counts, okay? Sometimes I'm joking with clients when they say, oh, I just need a few pictures. I say, okay, I can take a few pictures in 5 minutes. Can you come in 5 minutes? And he's like, no, I want to book a 1 hour shoot. So yes, it means that they can't just arrive to the studio, take the clothes off and ejaculate the next minute. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to make. There is an anatomical and psychological factor to it. Okay, and to create that photography or that videos which are on point sexually, the person, photographer or videographer, have to be aware of those factors, have to know this. Okay, and I remember this guy who came to the shoot and he said like, oh, I want to be an adult model. And I went to the shoot and I had this experience, he said. Okay, usually I have a big cock and I'm very proud of myself, and that's why I went to do the photo shoot. Okay, but when he went and met the photographer, and that was the woman, he chose the woman, and it was a conveyor experience, okay, I'm talking about. And she just said, okay, are you ready? And he says, yes, okay, come into the studio. He came into the studio, and then she said, you have 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to make yourself hard. And he said that that moment when she said this, he said, I couldn't, he says, I couldn't do it. And he says, the way I did it, it was like that, and I understand this, okay? But like I say, the photographers are not aware of the situation in the sexual environment, in the sexual field. They are not aware of the real energy. They do not know what it is, what that is. Okay, because you see, only shooting naked people in the artistic way could be sexy. They don't have to feel that, they don't have to feel that sexual energy. The photography has this magic, and the lighting can create that illusion that that person is doing something there. Okay, but in the reality, he sits cold. Okay, nothing is going on. Okay, he can sit naked and he can still cold. Okay, and there is no sexual energy, okay, translated, but you can assume. Okay, and the photographer can create that. Okay, so limited image and photographers, limited capacity, I just spoke. And can you shoot what you want? Yes, another thing. Okay, so very often couples or individuals have their ideas and they want to try certain things and they want to shoot what they want. Okay, so what happens in my studio is that we discuss everything what we like. Okay, then I say what I think I would like to do, and then we agree. Okay, and we shoot both. Okay, but I never limit any couple to any fantasy. Okay, to any fantasy. Of course, it's related to health and safety. And when I'm saying I'm not limiting in any fantasy, I don't shoot with animals. Okay, so that's already a limit. But I'm just saying, if it's an experience, okay, I don't care. It's a vanilla. I don't care. It's how to say, domination. I don't care what kind of a style. Okay, what kind of approach. Okay, I'm not saying that everyone has to be how to say, rough during the sex. You can be, if you like that, you like that. But I always establish this at the beginning. Okay, and I see what you've got, and then later I try to add something, role play, or just to take you out of that comfort zone. Okay, that's my goal. Couples usually even don't know that. Okay, but I like variety and diversity in the shoot. Okay, and I like to give them another option, another idea, maybe the props, maybe the toys, maybe some restraints, maybe something. And you would be surprised, but most of the time I am right. Okay, because when they try something, even they say no, no, no. Okay, I don't stop. I don't stop. You see, sex have to be uh, adventurous. It has to be, okay? And I know that they get used to doing these things this way, okay? There are some men who just can come on this angle, in this way, and so on. And that is the problem, of course, okay? So I adjust to this, okay? But then we experiment in the different things, okay? So yes, so photographers limited capacity. So usually you will get photographers who has that limited capacity, and I try not to relate to this. Okay, I always say to my couples, you can have unlimited shoot, get ready, because there is no other place you can try this and have it done. So you better, you better put your mind to it. Okay, you better put your mind to, and they understand the opportunity. They understand it. It actually, how to say, put that excitement on, because they already done the research. Okay, and they know that there are not many people who are able to do it, happy to do it, and have qualifications. Okay, and what qualifications you can have in erotic photography if you cannot even have a diploma of erotic photography? You can be a qualified photographer, right? You can be, but then you would work with those standards. Okay, and what the standards are, I went through the course. Okay, I went through the course, and like I say, everything is outdated. Okay, and so nothing I could use for my directory. I had to develop everything and learn everything from scratch, not from books. Okay, not from other photographers. Okay, I learned with people, trying, experimenting, doing different things. I learn through doing. Okay, not through watching, not through reading, through doing. And that's what it counts. Okay, when you have experience and when you are confident in every shoot. And imagine when every shoot is new. Okay, it was freaking me out every time at the start, and I was scared, and I was just keep thinking, shall I just fucking do like everyone? Because it's freaking you out, to start from scratch and find the new lighting directory, find the new things but then with time I realized that that is the value. Okay, that is where I am giving them real value. Okay, and they understand the work. It's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. Can you experiment? So yes, like I say, experimenting is the main key to erotic photography. Okay, without experimenting you could not get new sensations. Okay, and the reason why people are trying erotic photography and coming to the studio is because they are looking to experiment. Okay, very often, like in sports, for example, me and sport, oh no, oh no, oh no. But if I go somewhere to the club and I have a coach, he would make me do it and I will do it, and then after I will be amazed. Okay, I will be amazed. It was amazing, right? When someone made you do it. So that is exactly in the photo shoot. Very often people come to experiment, but really they don't want to do it. They're scared, okay? Something is holding them back. There are million, objections, a million reasons not to, okay? And so experimenting is the way I work, okay? And experiments start from the start, okay? From the very start when we are getting into this. That's why we need time. Okay, if I would be working in a conveyor experience, I would not have any stress. I would not be nervous. Okay, and I would be always, how to say, on point. How you can get wrong if you shot this million times? How you can make an error? How you can evolve and how you can learn as a professional if you're just doing one thing? I'm not saying that everyone, should be like me, okay, because we still need those photographers who are safe, who create a certain content, okay, and there will be always people who scared, okay, who scared to experiment and to do anything. They would like to capture erotic photo shoot, but they scared, to open their legs or open something. They want to do very, low key, whatever, right? So that is going to be less stress for them. And they should go to those photographers, okay? They would not push them. They would not, do anything. They would just quickly do something, few pictures, bye bye, and go, okay? With me, I can't, I feel like I'm cheating. Okay. I want to connect to the universe. I want to connect to that creativity. I want those people to inspire me to create something new. I want to feel those vibes and energies. I even don't know how the photo shoot will progress and how it will go. Okay. And after the shoot, I am buzzing. Seriously, I have this adrenaline in my body. Okay. And I would not experience anything like that if I would be doing a conveyor experience. But yes, as a woman, I would be safe. I will be on the safe boat, just swimming through the lake. Everyone is coming, and I'm doing the same thing with everyone, and nothing can be wrong. Okay, nothing can be wrong because you're doing the same thing. Okay, that's what I say, right? But there are people who are not like me. Okay, I cannot progress, I can't even shoot the same frame on the same setting long. Okay, I need to change. I need to see what is out there, what is else. If I add this light, what will it give to them? What if I remove this? What if I change this? What if I in my head there is always what if. Okay, and there are people who have no questions. These questions are not coming in. And and that's where the creativity has the limits. Okay, and that's what you will get, okay, in the other studios. Okay, so breaking the standards. Okay, is it easy to break the standards? Okay, people are very slow, okay, on moving to new things. Okay, people rejecting everything what is new. Okay, and many time I go through the barriers. Okay, because when I'm making this video, I will show this video to other clients. The first thing what they will watch is that they need to understand. Okay, they need to understand the difference, because if they want a safe shoot and those pictures only, they should go somewhere else. I am not their person. I want to experiment, and I want to create something new with everyone, because this is the energy that feeds me. Okay, this is on what I live. Okay, and for me it's not enough shooting, how to say, by the standard. I always want to make something better. I always want to, how to say, discover something new. I want to discover a wheel. The wheel was discovered long time ago, but you see, in erotic photography, we can